What's going on, PAL fans? It's Hannons here, and I'm joined with the one, the only, the man with the weird beard, Russian Carl.
Greetings, comrades.
So, guys, this is new to the PAL in general and as a whole.
Very new.
We made a PAL channel, and this is going to include everyone's battles, one side of every battle of the PAL. So that's going to be 6 battles a week on this channel, and then including this, which is a PAL review for that week. So this is going to be a week 1 review, and this is brand new. So we're going to be going through a little bit of growing pains, but I think we can handle it, Russian Carl. What do you think?
I think we got this.
So I believe week 2 recaps we're going to be setting up a little bit differently, but we're going to do what we can for week 1. We're going to start off going over each match, and then we're also going to go over a play of the week. So, and then in week,
I gotta tell you, it's quite a play.
So
Quite a play.
Yeah, and then also in week 3, we're going to start putting up the kill leaders for the season, and maybe some other things involved in awards for the PAL season as a whole. But without further ado, I say we get to the first battle here.
Yeah, let's get started.
As you can see, a newcomer here, Coach Alex and the Toronto Turtonators against Coach Ashley, a veteran here, and the Dallas Mudsdales.
A veteran who has had it out for me for many seasons.
So, yeah, Russian Carl's a little bit salty still about that
But hey,
record.
I don't have to battle her this season, so that's so I call that a win.
So you can see up top here, she comes out with a 2-0 narrow victory. This is a back and forth battle, probably one of the best battles of week 1, in my opinion. What do you think?
Definitely.
So it starts off really just back and forth, prediction after prediction. Some sides outpredict the other side, back and forth, but really a couple kills here or there. Really the big play here was the play of the week. I'm not going to go into extreme detail, but the play of the week swings it with Latios going down due to a healing wish and making it so the Mammoth Swine. Yes,
yep.
the Mammoth Swine. What happened before that is the Necrozma was too bulky for it to take out, and it toxicked. There was really nothing it could do. The Necrozma was enough to bulk hits from all of the remaining mons from Ashley's side, except for the Mammoth Swine with Earthquake.
Well, I can definitely say after talking with Alex, Coach Alex, he did see and through because he preps he does a lot of prep for these, and he has little documents and layouts and stuff, and he did make a point that she does not have a lot of physical offense on her side. It's mostly special.
It's just Mammoth Swine.
It's Mammoth Swine and Metagross, which she did bring both of them. So he threw Light Screen on his Necrozma because he figured most of the offense heading his way was going to be special anyway, and that severely weakened any damage output from Finny, Lottie, and Alakazam. And Typhlosion came out just as the Light Screen ended, so I'm not going to include that in there.
Yeah. But Alakazam also had an interesting play as well with that.
I like that.
The tracing of Prism Armor on the Necrozma. If it didn't set up that Light Screen, though, that could have been a huge problem for Alex. So good prep on his part, bringing that Light Screen. And also good playing on Ashley's part.
To see the opportunity there, because Mega Alakazam does get traced, which allows him to copy the ability of whatever Pokemon's in front of him when he Megas, or comes out after he Megas.
Yeah.
And she chose her spot very carefully for this, and took Prison Armor from the Necrozma, which was a very nice play, because Prison Armor reduces the damage you take from super effective move by, I think, 25%?
I think it's something like that.
Somewhere around
maybe
there.
50%.
The issue still is being Mega Alakazam is extremely fragile, and it does not have the bulk that Necrozma does. So Necrozma, with its Prison Armor and a Light Screen on top, was taking next to nothing from Shadow Balls from a Mega Alakazam, while Mega Alakazam was taking almost half its health per Dark Pulse.
Yeah. And back to what we were talking about before, the Mammoth Swine was poisoned and at very low HP and had to switch out if Ashley wanted to win the battle at all, because the Necrozma was taking the Earthquakes and healing back up with Moonlight. So that was the issue there. She switches out into the Latios, and it is Scarfed. It's going to outspeed either way. It's Scarfed, and she uses Healing Wish, brings back in. It's no longer toxic.
Yep. For anyone who doesn't know what Healing Wish does,
Yeah.
Healing Wish completely sacrifices the Pokemon who uses it. They flat out die. However, you get to bring in a mon of your choice from your back area from your team, and they are completely healed to full HP and cured of all status.
Yeah.
So it is a literal game changer.
So, and because of that, even if he does Toxic it again, it's at that point where Mammoth Swine outspeeds everything and just clicks EQ. And that's the game. But again, shoutouts to Alex newcomer, handled himself well in week 1. I'm interested to see how he goes further on in the season.
He did have a very nice week 1 battle. Even though he didn't come out with the win, he made a lot of key predictions, especially with the Beedrill. Predicting the Metagross switch in after he almost killed Finny with a poison jab and hitting it with the X Scissor and then finishing off with the knockoff right after.
I think either way with that, X Scissor was
the
going
X
to kill.
Scissor would have killed no matter what.
So I think it's a safe play.
It was a safe play, but it was also a nice prediction too. Because most people are just going to sit there and they're like, well, I'm going to keep clicking poison jab. It is my strongest move.
I actually rewatching many battles in the PAL this season. Not many people. I can only think of 2 people who really just clicked the same move over and over again, knowing that it would kill. If you rewatch, and I encourage you guys to go out and watch all these battles, if you know that a move is going to kill and it's safer to go for, I think a lot of people did make that play. Alex being one of them. I believe Ashley as well with the Earthquake hitting the Beedrill. I don't think she predicted anything. I think it was just the safe play. Earthquake is going to do more damage to anything.
Well, no, she killed the Beedrill with a Rock Slide.
It was an Earthquake. It was an Earthquake.
No, it was definitely a Rock Slide.
We're going to rewatch this, and then we're going to put in the comments who was right, and I believe it was an Earthquake.
I believe it was Rock Slide.
All right, so
either way, effective.
Either way, it died. But again, a lot of people are making better plays, which we have not seen in the PAL. So it looks like Season 5 is actually going to be different.
People are taking it up a notch.
Which is always good to see. So let's go ahead, and we're going to go into our second match.
Oh, another quick thing before we get on. This is specifically for Ashley, if you're watching this. Tapu Fini prevents all status effects with its Misty Terrain, so if you were fishing for burns with that Scald, it wasn't happening.
It wasn't going to work. A mon that she doesn't really use, so she learned it the hard way.
She PSA was like, PSA.
So going
Fini
further.
blocks status.
Going further, we're going to hop into my battle. Hold on. It's going to be me against Coach Jimmy, and my week
Another close one.
Yeah. My week 1 match didn't really go as well as planned. I was talking to Russian Carl the night before, and I was like, dude, I have not had prep time because of school. So I was like, all right, let's take these guys out of my box. And we're sitting there, we're like,
because we were on Discord and we were chatting away about something.
We were talking about this. Yeah, all of our layouts and stuff.
We were setting up the layouts for this, as well as the layouts for the battles.
Yes.
And he's like, oh man, I don't even know what I'm going to use against Jimmy. Do I have these guys? He's going through the boxes. Yeah, I guess I do. All right, I guess I'm good. And so, I'm like, all right, man.
And so, I should have lost. But this is Jim. I was making good plays in the beginning of the match, and at one point I'm like, okay, it was Charizard versus Gardevoir. I just came in freely off of the Dragon Claw. I predicted Dragon Claw coming freely, and I'm like, he's going to use Flare Blitz. He has to Flare Blitz here.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that he can either go for a Roost or a Flare Blitz here. And if he goes for the Flare Blitz, he dies to recoil. I should switch to Slowbro, taking the Flare Blitz, and then he would die to recoil either way. So I wouldn't lose any Mons and all that type of stuff, because I really wanted Gardevoir to take out the Cresselia. Or the Golisopod, or something like that. And so I'm sitting here to myself, and I'm like, if he Roost, I'm in a bad spot. Yeah, I really, really wasn't. My mind was just a little foggy, because I didn't prep. And,
I mean, week one jitters.
Yeah, so I ended up staying with the Gardevoir. Charizard takes himself out as well as Gardevoir, and that's how Jimmy took control of the match up until the very, very end, where the MVP of the New York tournament is for every season.
You could see it on the board right there. 4 kills, just like that Mamoswine last match. They got 4 kills.
It's the late game. They both picked up 3 kills at the late game, so you have to watch these 2 matches to really get the full effect on how one move can change the entirety of one match. Healing Wish from Ashley's side changed all the momentum to Ashley's side, and she was able to pick up kill after kill after kill. Slowbro with Trick Room took all the momentum away from Jimmy. Also, Slowbro, even not being at full HP, being a little bit above half HP and taking a knockoff from a Krook, that's big. That's big in my opinion. So
that is pretty good. I mean, another thing, it's always about thinking about what is the best move and what is the best play. Jimmy did go on the all offense for this battle, where he took a bit slower pace, especially at the end when he had the advantage. He didn't have to press you as hard considering what you had left, and he had Cresselia, which pretty much walled you.
Yeah, while I was battling him, I assumed he had Calm Mind. But then he tells me he has Moonlight. He Moonlights on Victini, he wins the match. He did not Moonlight, he loses the match. So, I mean, it's just being patient in league play is gonna cost a few players that are a little bit too, I'm just gonna say, a little too frisky. Even though it's definitely not the right word, I like the word.
I think you're looking just for risky.
I like frisky more. But yeah,
Because
it's like
I think this is his words. He did try to risk it for the biscuit,
yes, and that's
even though he already has one.
yeah. So it's like he could have won, but he didn't make the right plays, and I made the right play at the right time, and it was because it was Slowbro against Cresselia, against Crocodile, and against Roserade, and also I'm talking to myself, oh my god, I have to use Flamethrower, I'm gonna have to get a crit. I have Psyshock, so really, because I took my time.
I mean, you were on tilt for a little bit, and then you looked at your game, and you're like, oh, Psyshock.
I wasn't on tilt. I was just like, how are we gonna pull this out? But I mean, and I was like, Flamethrower, I might have to crit, and then I was like, oh, Psyshock.
I think we've all had situations like that.
Yeah. So going further, we're gonna hop into Brendan and Elise, and now with Brendan and Elise, it was really just Brendan coming in with Latios. Early game, taking out the Gengar.
There were issues for this match. In all honesty, this match should not have been as big of a victory as it should have. I mean,
Marowak having 2 kills also should not be there, but we're gonna fix that going on further. But I'm just going to go ahead and give my little synopsis of this battle before you make your comments. We're going to literally it started off with Latios starting off Psychic King to Gengar, which early game gives Brendan the lead. But Elise did not have her Mega Stone, and also Brendan did not have a Mega Ring as well. He had to use someone else's game. So because of the fact that Elise could not use her Mega Stone, she might not have won, but it would not have been a 4-0. Oh yeah, it should. Marowak does have 2 kills. I don't know why I thought that he didn't. I don't know. My brain's a little bit foggy.
No, you're right. You're right.
It should be 1 kill.
It should be. The other one is Politoed.
Okay, yeah, that's what. Okay, so I was right. Okay.
I was going off the roster page.
Okay, so
that might not be fixing. But anyway, so.
Yeah.
That is incorrect. Marowak should have 1 kill. Politoed is the other because Politoed did take out Machamp with a Psychic.
Yeah, so I was right there. But let me go back to what I was saying. Because she could not Mega Evolve her Swampert in the rain.
It wasn't able to take advantage of the Swift Swim and outspeed the Latios.
Yeah, so...
whether or not it had anything to handle Latios is another story, but Latios was pretty weak at that time.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible even a Waterfall at that range could have taken it out.
Yeah, but I mean... I'm just saying, all in all, it might have been closer, but I think Brendan would have pulled it out in the end either way because with Swampert and then him having Mega Slowbro kind of walls Swampert in all of the ways.
I mean, he also had the Magma Zone too.
Which also. So, I mean, all in all, it was a Latios show because of the fact that there was a lack of Mega Ring, which we should have that under control, hopefully, for Elise and the Gengars going further.
I do have information that they have since fixed the problem.
Okay, so that's good.
They are good. They're good to go for week 2.
And not only that, I'm pretty sure she has a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
With Politoed and Mega Swampert. Yeah, like same with me. Late game, if you can manage to get it up and working functionally, it's a game changer.
With any match, you always have to identify what your win con is.
The win cons are always,
and then look to see what's standing in your way. Because obviously, I mean, I'm not sure what could have stopped a Mega Swampert other than the Slowbro and the Energy Ball and the Latios. So getting those out of the way would allow a Mega Swampert in the rain to really just wreak havoc.
Also, the move sets are a little bit questionable, but again, people choose their own move sets, and we're going to rock with it. Mm-hmm. That being said, that's going to do it for Brendan. Picking up a win, finishing strong, starting off strong after finishing pretty strong last season.
Yes.
Getting knocked out in the semifinals.
So another PSA on the idea of move sets. If your entire move set is not very effective against a certain Pokemon.
Yeah, switch.
If you don't have it, switch if able. If you can't switch, use Stab.
Yeah.
Because you're just guaranteed to do more damage with Stab.
The Shockwave was... repeated Shockwave... Because you think about it this way. If she does end up using Stab repeatedly, does it make something... Like, she has Flamethrower. Does she get that burn with the extra damage? Because it is stronger. It is Stab. And it was left and right. And you can get the burn.
Or if she was running Psychic... and getting the special defense drop, that could have made it easier to take down Latios as well.
So
who did miss the first Draco it fired off and did not. It took 2 more Dracos to finish off Delphox.
Yeah. So I mean, you just always gotta understand that use the best move available. Stab better than not stab if everything's not very effective, and power of the move also is important. 60 power Shockwave probably was not the best option there. But it is what it is. First week jitters, we understand. Yep. We went through it.
I made a similar mistake in my match too, which we will see when we get up to that point.
I did too. I used Energy Ball, but I was also expecting the Krook to come in.
I'll get to what I did when my match comes along.
So
anyway, who do we have next?
We have Julio and Daniel. Now this was pretty bad. So go ahead, give your synopsis.
This was a pretty for anyone to watch this match, you can already know that this is a pretty short match. I believe it only lasted about 9 turns, if I remember correctly.
I will go over why things happen. So go ahead.
The match started off with a Jirachi versus Rotom wash. Rotom volt switched out after taking his Zen headbutt from Jirachi and not flinching. And then a Haxorus came in, and the Haxorus D-danced as the Jirachi switched out. And then the Haxorus got another free D-dance off, knowing a Sucker Punch was coming from a Honchkrow, and then proceeded to sweep the entirety of that team.
So we're going to go off and talk about why this happened. Jirachi was leftovers. He said he wanted to make it scarfed. He did not. So remember, check your mons. He also said...
always check your mons.
So with Honchkrow, he said that he wanted to... He knew that another Dragon Dance was going to come. He wanted the Brave Bird, but was going against his better judgment. I can speak to this because I do this all the time. Stick with your gut.
Your gut is off. Well, a lot of things with Pokemon battles, there's a lot of instinct involved. And a lot of times, like I'm going to say 7 out of 10 times, your gut's going to be right.
Yeah. And so there's that. I don't think the Honchkrow would have taken it out. There's a possibility maybe because Haxorus is not the bulkiest mon, and he went for the Dragon Dance.
Well, here's the thing. With a Sucker Punch, he dropped it to below half health.
Okay.
So a Brave Bird would have killed it at that range if he went for it.
Yeah.
Would he killed himself too? Yes, but that would have been a +2/+2 Haxorus gone as well.
And then I think... Either way, you have to also look at the matchup here. The matchup is in the favor of Julio either way because Mega Scissor is not afraid of anything on the opponent's team. Really.
I mean, his team outside of that Haxorus is just pure bulk.
It's pure bulk, yeah.
You got Rotom Wash, you got Mega Scizor, Vaporeon, Clefable, Goodra. Just every single one of those guys is just takes so much to bring him down.
Yeah, so I mean, you just gotta whittle him down. You gotta use... on teams against Julio, going further, you're going to have to use rocks. In my opinion, though it's not going to do too much to many things. A little bit of chip damage, though I believe Clefable might not take it if it is Magic Guard, so don't worry about that. But you're going to need to use that little bit of chip to get things on there. Maybe some toxic spikes and stuff like that. The little bit of chip and hazards can prove big.
Hazards are your friends in a lot of league style matches.
Especially against bulky teams like that. There are a lot of teams in this league. You have like spectrum teams in this league. Now thinking about it, you have teams that are fast and hit hard.
Like Jimmy's team?
Like Jimmy's team. You have teams that are bulky and can sit there for days with Julio's team. Also, Brendan's team is pretty bulky and slow.
Mine's a mix. Mine's a bit of a mix.
Mine's
Both of ours are kind of in the same boat. We're still figuring our teams out. Like I have some changes I have to make.
Yeah, so again, always pay attention to the team you're versing and really just look at what you're going up against. And this speaks to anyone who battles single format. Pay attention to what you're going up against.
Pay attention to what the guys you think are going to come from your opponent, because here outside of the Honchkrow, Haxorus was able to hit pretty much everything super effectively with only 2 different moves. Honchkrow and Greninja were the only 2 who took normal damage from it. Otherwise, he had Earthquake that killed Jirachi and Dragalge, and then he had Poison Jab, which killed Rotom Cut, Mega Gardevoir, and
And also pay attention to damage calculators. If you're going to use a move that hits multiple times, if it says it's going to do 45% on damage calculator, that's a total if it hits 5 times, not 45
on the damage calculator, there's actually a little thing that you can change how many times for it to read on the damage calc.
Okay, so do that. Because...
Can I take a look to see, like, well, what if it has to hit 2 at least, so what's the minimum?
Yeah.
That doesn't kill, maybe it's not the best move.
Maybe go for that Ice Beam you should have on your Greninja. Probably would have killed that Haxorus.
The thing is, the reason he went for Water Shuriken was because Water Shuriken is priority.
Yeah, it's priority, true. But either way, pay attention to what you're doing, check your mons, look at the calcs, and actually pay attention to the calcs, and really just know your opponent's team. Going further now, we are up to match here, Russian Carl versus Joe.
Oh, it's my match. All right, so let me explain this. This was especially for, I mean, if you watched it, you saw my reactions and everything, but this was a very emotionally draining match for me. Because
Russian crowd like to lose.
I mean, who likes to lose? But it was just the roller coaster of just emotions as, I was in control of the match with Incineroar, providing the bulk I needed and taking out his Chandelure, which was one of my big concerns because he didn't have an immunity to fighting type moves that killed his Lopunny and Bisharp at that point. And then he brought in Lopunny on on my Incineroar, and I thought he was going to go for a high jump kick. I should have expected a power up punch because he went for that power up punch and it didn't kill, which let him get a +2 Lopunny in my face, and I thought I was going to lose. And I had things set up to, if this situation occurred where Lopunny was out of control, this can stop it. But being at +2, it threw everything out of whack, and my Bronzong was spec'd to handle Lopunny. But because it was +2, he had a 40% chance to kill me with a high jump kick, which he did.
Yeah.
And then, all my hopes rested on Golurk, but I needed to clear out the rocks because Golurk was focus sashed. So I sent it Mandibuzz. I'm like, well, if he high jump kicks me, I have a 6% chance to live. And he decided to go for Ice Punch instead, which I was confused at the time. But I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'm going to take it. Got the rocks away. Mandibuzz dies. Golurk comes in, takes an Ice Punch. Focus Sash activates, and I'm like, all right, now I'm going to Drain Punch him. He's going to die. And I get frozen.
Yeah, so, I mean, hacks is part of the game. So you're going to see in this match, hacks plays a role. It's going to happen. There are other matches that are going to happen that way as well. Sometimes they matter, sometimes they don't. It is just the nature of the game.
It's the big thing that a lot of people don't like with Pokemon is the nature that luck has a lot to do with these outcomes sometimes.
Yeah, if you have a guy who can flinch, who can use a move that can flinch anyone,
use it on
me because I get flinched. I literally got flinched with a King's Rock Scald. So I was like, are you serious? So, I mean, it is what it is. It's the nature of the game, the nature of the beast. You kind of have to go through it. And you told me you were on tilt on that part.
Well, after Golurk went down, I was resigned to lose. I'm like, well, I'm going to lose 5-0 here. And this is not the kind of opening I wanted for the season. But then it turns out because he had someone else gen his Lopunny, and he had return, and he asked for max happiness, but when it was traded to him, the happiness got reset.
Yeah.
So the return was minimum base power, and it did not, at +3, it didn't kill my Gallade, and I ended up killing the Lopunny there, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm back in the match. Maybe I can do this. But then I lost because I had HP Ice on my Thundurus, which allowed him to speed tie with Flygon, who then won the speed tie and killed Thundurus at the end. In hindsight, I realize now that there was no actual way for me to winning. The most I could have done was bring it to a 1-0.
Yeah.
Because he didn't think Mew was going to be able to do anything, so I don't think he would have ever brought out Mew. But I was too weak to do anything to Mew, and Mew could have killed me at that point. So
yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. I mean, again, week 1, this was a very interesting week 1. I would say the two favorites to win it all this season really had rough week 1s overall. But I mean, it's the nature of the beast. You kind of have to roll with it. We did not draft the quote unquote flawless teams we did last season. My team last season, going over it, I had every Mon had an immunity, so I played mind games. I know I 6-0'd the first 2 matches because of all the immunities.
And then on my half, I just drafted a sand team, and it worked.
It worked, and then you switched it right into the playoffs. But
it still worked. It's the fact, again, most of my losses come from bad rolls.
Yeah. I mean...
But I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah. So we're just going to go into the last match, and it's going to be Delta versus Zach here.
So this is Coach Zach of the Whooper Troopers. As you guys may know, he... longtime pal of ours, and he's been on stream with Hannons multiple times, and in our Soul Links, he's always the rival.
Yes, and he will be in an upcoming series on my channel. Definitely look forward to that in the future.
Yeah, and he did make it to the finals last season to battle you.
Yes, and then Vigavolt.
And then Vigavolt happened.
I used Trick Room all last season, and I used Agility Vigavolt for the win in the playoffs. So, I mean...
No one saw it coming. But anyway, Coach Delta, on the other hand, he's a brand new coach that tried out for the PIL this season, and he made it in. And not the best start.
Questionable sets. Questionable set. One set. It's the point where it was that Mon against a certain Mon. Why go for this move when you can go for the stab murder move?
As I can explain, for that week, I was in charge of handling the creation of
Yes, Delta's
Mons, and he gave me his sets. And specifically for the Ranunculus, it had a specific set that was, I believe, like...
It was Psychic, Nightshade.
It was a weird EV spread, but it was like max HP and then a spread of like defense, special defense, and special attack.
Yeah.
But it was Psychic, Nightshade, Recover,
and
Trick, while it was Magic Guard ability and holding a Life Orb. And I assume that this was to handle Toxapex.
That's what I assumed as well.
Toxapex tends to... Well, Nightshade is guaranteed damage, but that's pretty much good for anything, especially if something resists Psychic.
Yeah.
But Psychic is super effective against Toxapex, which I
would
guess
do more
damage.
Yes.
And the trick itself, tricking a Life Orb on Toxapex to get rid of its Black Sludge...
And with the Magic Guard ability, even if it does have a Black Sludge, you get it on you, but you don't take any damage because of Magic Guard. So that
was cool, but the set was never used to its full potential. Ranunculus came out onto the Toxapex as soon as Toxapex hit the field.
Yeah.
Went straight for the Nightshade and then got Ghost EMZ'd.
Yeah.
By Adelmise. So...
I think that was where he also explained where things went south for him. But I know Delta. I know he battles well. There's a reason he made it into this league. And I know he'll make strides going further and kind of go make up for it and down the road. But this might not have been his best match, but it's still not that bad of a match. Really?
Yeah. We had two people in two different matches where someone used a Z weather setting move to boost their speed, which I thought was a nice touch. You got Z Sunny Day on the Typhlosion for Ashley's team, and then Delta was running Z Rain Dance on his Primarina. Yeah, and actually, it did well enough for Primarina to get a kill. So
there's always that. So, I mean, again, that's all the matches. I want to give a big shout out to all the teams here. We're not done yet. Obviously, we're going to go into what's going to come next. But again, I want to give a big shout out to all the coaches on a successful week one. I think all in all, we see tremendous improvement in this league in terms of battling skill. There were really no blowouts except for one, but it's also because the person did not check his mons. It might not have been...
Always do that.
And trust your guts. So if you trust your gut and you check your mons, 6-0 might have been a 3-0. So, I mean, and again...
Fair point.
So, that's what I'm going with there. And again, I'm just excited for this season to go further and just really see where all these coaches go this season. I think that the playoff, usually in the PAL, you had the top 3 teams total, and then the playoff race was like the person making it in had 2 wins total, which should not happen. But this season, I think it's all completely going to be different. I think everyone's going to need anyone who makes it's going to have to win at least half their games. So
far, there's a lot of like varied starts here. A lot of people
who were thought to win week 1, lost week 1. People who thought that they would have commanding wins did not. So again, PAL's looking good going further.
Oh yeah.
And let's go into something that many of you guys might be excited for. Let's go to the play of the week here. So the play of the week we did talk about earlier.
It was in Coach Ashley and Alex's match where Latias was able to successfully pull off its Healing Wish to bring Pumbaa, the Mammoth Swine, back to full HP in perfect condition and allowed him to pretty much sweep the rest of the game. So,
I mean, honestly,
he did get a flinch with an Icicle Crash on Necrozma, which actually helped because the Necrozma was not able to heal the Icicle Crash damage.
that was big as well. So it's like, it's a great move, as you guys see here. Great move, and with luck, because without the Icicle Crash, without the heal, I mean, it was just a good play, honestly. Yeah. It was similar to my Trick Room as in it changed momentum where one Mon had to take on 3 guys, I believe, and they had to do that. But this is just a cooler fashion. Just doing it in style. Killing yourself for your teammate.
I mean, I had to do this in Season 3. I had to do this the same exact thing because I had Jirachi at one point in Season 3, and I was versing my brother, who was part of the league at that time, and he was going to beat me like 3-0. But I was able to use the Healing Wish to get my Mega Swampert back in the rain after sacrificing my Rain Setter to get the rain in. And then Swampert plus Noivern cleaned up everyone.
Yeah. So again, guys, that's going to do it for us. I hope you guys enjoyed this and the play of the week. Let me know what you guys think about that. And if you guys can go ahead and check out the other videos and let us know what you guys thought with the play of the week, that would also be cool too. Because we would like you guys to get involved in this and let us know what you guys think of how we're doing with this league. We're still growing. people want to get involved in this league, and there are also ways for everyone to get involved in this league, and we'll go over that later on in the season. But again, that's going to do it for us, guys. Week 1 is officially wrapped up, and we're happy to say that. We're going to go ahead and flip that switch. I'm not rushing Carl. I'm Hannons, and I'm with
I'm rushing Carl.
Oh my gosh. Bye.
До свидания.